Truth be told, he's always been a hustler on a mission. Mission for greatness. Some people are naturally blessed with the hustler's ambition. Now this story is one that we're all quite familiar with. This man had talent and a dream. Three things that he always had besides his 45 with intelligence, ambition, and intuition. Hustler is not simply born. The true hustler is created as he adapts to the bullshit this world throws at him.
This is Andre of Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert button so that you're notified every time we drop content, and that's gonna be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode.
Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time. Let's get ready for a BGK story time.
BGK story time. The time that I had to save my neighbor's dogs from a huge rattlesnake that was about to end their lives. Yeah, that happened. Hey, what's good, everybody? What's good? Hey, it's Andre BGK. I'm right back at you with another BGK story time. And this one is about my neighbor's dogs. Their dog's name is Auggie. Auggie is a boxer, right? And Auggie is like, he looked like he's about 3 or 4 years old. I don't know how old he is actually, but he's an older dog, right? He's not a puppy. And then they also have a younger dog that looks like he's a golden retriever mix. I've watched it since they got it as a puppy. This puppy has to be about, if I had to guess, I would say this puppy is around maybe just turning a year or so. You know, he's not too sure of himself. He kind of follows Augie's lead. Now, Auggie act like he a badass. Like, Auggie is running down on everything. Now, their yard is fenced in, right? So every time you walk by that yard, Auggie just, he ready for it. He's on you. Like, he always acts like every time he sees me, he wants to eat me. He wants to just, like, devour my face or something. He seems like he's a serious dog. Now, whether he is or not, I've never been able to test that. But I do know one thing as a dog man, an experienced dog man. Like, one thing you got to know about me is I love pit bulls, I love XL American bullies, but I actually love all dogs. I am a dog man in general, so I enjoy all breeds. I just happen to breed XL American bullies, right? And I do know that boxers are serious guardians. They do not play around. They're very similar to an XL American bully or a pit bull in this way. They are great with kids. They are family-oriented pets, and they simply love to be in the company of their owners. They love being around the people that they consider family, right? And Auggie is very traditional in this sense. Whenever I'm at the BGK Ranch and I'm walking by Augie's property, which is directly across from ours, he flies up to that fence line, kicking up dirt, growling, barking, and the golden retriever kind of just walks behind him, and he's following Augie's lead. He's barking and he's doing his thing, but I never took him seriously. Auggie was a different story though. I watch Auggie carefully because he seems like he's really about that action. He seems like he really wants to do something, right? So in order for the story to make sense to you, I'm gonna have to explain something that happens over by the BGK Ranch where Auggie and my neighbors are located and where the BGK Ranch is located. There are a lot of snakes. When I say a lot of snakes, I mean you're probably gonna see 2 to 3 a week, maybe more, right? And I've learned about snakes by being out there, right? Sometimes it's a gopher snake, sometimes it's a rattlesnake. Now, if it's a rattlesnake, you better kill it because you never know what it's going to do to you, you know. And a rattler's bite can be very dangerous. It has poison, it has venom that when it enters your system can do a lot of damage to you and even include death to animals, to humans, or at least extreme sickness if you're able to treat it in time. Now, it took me a long time to understand about snakes in this area. At first, I thought all of the snakes were pretty much gopher snakes, and I treated them as such, right? I would just pick them up, and if I found them on my property, if I found a snake on my property on the BGK Ranch, what I would do is take it and put it under one of the sheds or over by the logs or wherever, so I know that it can go after the rodents in my yard, because gopher snakes actually serve a purpose. If you use them, you don't need to kill them, you don't need to harm them. They keep the rodent population under control. So I don't kill or hurt them. I just re-release them in an area where I think there's rodents that need to be controlled, whether that be in my yard or outside of my yard. That's what I do with the gopher snakes. So I got to the point where every time I seen a snake, it was no big deal, until one night I was walking 2 of my dogs. I was walking Kamikaze, actually, to be specific. I was walking Kazi. I was over at the BGK Ranch, and as we were walking, I seen a little bitty snake in my flashlight. So I'm like, oh, another gopher snake. And I picked up that snake and I just threw it into the field. But as I threw that snake into the field, I heard as it flew away from my hand. And that let me know that I had just grabbed a rattler without knowing it. It was a baby rattler, but still a rattler, and it had venom, and I just threw it without even knowing. I was like, okay, that's the last time I just pick up a snake like that. Now, a gopher snake can imitate a rattler by taking its tail and shaking it on the ground, and it kind of imitates a rattler, so you'll back up. But a true rattler doesn't need the ground to make that sound. Its tail does it. So as that snake released from my hand into the air, and I heard that as it flew away from my hand, I knew that that was a true rattler that I had just grabbed up. So that let me know I need to be a lot more careful about the snakes in my area. Okay, so let me get to the story. One day, I'm over at the BGK Ranch, and this is last week. I'm hanging out at the BGK Ranch, taking care of some things, when my daughter comes running up to me, and she's shook. I can tell that she's physically shaken up, and she's like, the house across the street, those two dogs, they're barking at something on the ground, and I can't tell what it is. I think it might be a snake. Please come over here. Please help. I'm like yelling for the neighbors. Nobody's responding. I'm like, damn it, man. Let me go see what's going on. So, I go out, I walk across our property, and as I walk up on my neighbor's property, I see Auggie, the big boxer, right, and his buddy, the golden retriever mix. They're both focused at something on the ground, and they're just foaming at the mouth. They're barking, they're going crazy, and whatever they're barking at on the ground, I can't really see it from the angle I'm at. So as I get closer and closer, I see it's a snake, but just not a regular size snake. This is one of the biggest snakes I've seen, and it's coiled itself in a circle, and every so often it's lashing out at Auggie or lashing out at the golden retriever as it gets too close. And I'm like, oh man, this is not a good situation. So I start yelling for my neighbors. But one thing you got to remember about the properties out by the BGK Ranch is they are all huge. They're all 2 acres and larger, right? My neighbor's property is about 3 acres. The BGK Ranch is about 3 acres. So the house sits back. It sits in the middle of the property. So a lot of times, even if they are there, you can yell and they will not hear you. At this point, I did not see their trucks or any of their cars in the driveway, so I assumed nobody was there. But I yelled for a while, hey, neighbor, hey, anybody there? Anybody home? Because I don't want to deal with this situation. I don't want to hop their fence and deal with this big snake or their dogs, right? I don't want to do any of that. But I am a dog lover, so I will do what I have to do. There's no response. Just like my daughter said, there's nobody responding, right? So clearly those neighbors aren't home this day. So I go and grab a big stick, a big long stick, and I'm like, okay, I gotta hop this fence. So as I get closer to the fence, Auggie takes his attention away from the snake and he rushes the gate. He's ready for me to come over. He looks like, if you come over this gate, I'm going to eat you. I was thinking about biting that snake, but I'd rather bite you. And I'm like, fuck, this is not a good situation, right? If I hop this fence, I have to deal with Auggie and the snake at the same time. I don't want to deal with any of it. I don't want to deal with Auggie. I don't want to deal with the snake. I don't want somebody's boxer that I don't know coming at me. Like, don't get it twisted. I know how to handle big dogs, but it's a lot different when it's not your dog and that dog doesn't have that same respect for you or know you, right? So Augie's rushing the gate. I'm like, what do I do, right? So the snake start lashing out even more at the golden retriever as Augie's barking at me. The snake is highly agitated. You can tell. He's not coming out of that circle though. He's still coiled, so I can't see his tail. I can't really get a good look at him to tell if he's a gopher snake or if he's a rattler. I'm assuming that he's a gopher snake, but he might be a big rattler. And if it's a rattler of that size, I mean, this snake had to be 6 feet long. And if there's a rattler of that size and it bites one of those dogs, it's going to die. And if it bites me, probably the same thing. I don't know what's going to happen. It's not going to be good. I know that, right? So I had to make a decision, and I was like, you know what? After looking at Auggie for a minute, I'm going to hop this damn fence. As I start to hop the fence, Auggie rushes the fence. I use the stick to kind of back him up. I'm not hitting him. I'm just kind of poking at the ground in front of him. He's backing up. And after I hop the fence, Auggie started to rush me, and I'm using the stick like I'm fending him off with the stick. I'm not hitting him. I'm just kind of keeping him at bay. And then I charged at Auggie, and Auggie backed all the way up. And that's when I knew, like, Auggie was all bark. I kind of had that feeling, but I wasn't sure, right? Because if he really wanted to, I guarantee you, if you hop my fence, I don't care if it's a snake there or not, those dogs are going to help you over by snatching your leg and pulling you down and then going to work on your ass. You're not walking out of my yard after you hop that fence. There is no way you survive that scenario. And it's not going to be one dog. They're all coming for you. That's just how it works. My dogs do not play, you know, and I was kind of initially assuming that Auggie was like that. But luckily, as I hopped that fence and I kept him at bay, he wasn't. I never turned my back on him, though, because you don't want to do that. I kind of kept him at bay. I was facing Auggie and I backed up towards the snake and I put the stick under the snake and I flipped it over the fence over further into the street where I could go deal with it. And then I backed up out the yard. The retriever the whole time was just watching. It stood back the entire time. One thing I will give Auggie is as I entered the yard, he did try to rush me. He didn't try to attack me, but he rushed, like he got really close, and that stick kept him back, and as he seen like this guy is not scared of me, he kind of fell back. Now he's barking the whole time, he's acting aggressive, but he's not attacking me, and that's a good sign to me, like, okay, he's a guardian, but he doesn't have that killer instinct to go ahead and finish the job, right? So after I flick the snake over the fence by using the stick, I back out, I toss a stick over the yard, I hop the fence myself, and I go to check out the snake. Now this is where I have to be honest, as Dre BGK, the big tough guy that y'all know, I almost shit myself. This was the largest rattlesnake I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how I did not hear that rattle when I was in the yard. I don't know if it was the dogs barking that threw me off, if I wasn't really paying close attention. This is a 6-foot snake with a huge rattle on the end. This is no doubt the largest rattler I've seen. If he had bit the dogs, if he had bit me, it would be game over, right? And when I say game over, I mean either I would have died or the dogs would have died or both. This rattler was huge. I've never seen a rattler that large at all. The largest I had seen before that was maybe 3 feet or so. This is a 6-foot rattler, right? So what I did was I wanted to keep an eye on it because he's still kind of watching me and I'm watching him. I'm sitting at a safe distance, and I told my daughter, hurry up, go back over the ranch, find a shovel of some sort and bring it over here. So she ran over there, and I'm waiting the whole time doing a stare off with this big ass rattlesnake, and she comes back with that shovel, and I take that shovel and I use that shovel like an axe. I hold one end of it and I'm just swinging down in the snake, and it's slashing out at me, and I'm swinging it down until snake up good. I mean, I brutalized the body of that snake. I'm not going to make it sound good. It was a brutal thing, but one of us had to go. Somebody got to die. Hell no, you got to go. Somebody got to die. Just let the gunshots blow. I can have a rattlesnake that close to my property, and I damn sure didn't want it to go back into my neighbor's yard. It had to die. One of us had to die. There was only one of us that was going to slither or walk away from that scene, and I made sure that person that was able to walk away from that scene was me. Period, right? So that snake died and I walked away. Now, I left a note in my neighbor's mailbox, right? Because our mailboxes are outside of our property lines, right? At the BGK Ranch anyway, my mailbox is outside of the property line, and their mailbox is outside of the property line because the mailman can't enter our properties. They're just too big. We have 3 acres apiece. There's no way he's going to walk all the way in, right? So I took a letter and I put it in the mailbox of my neighbor, and I let them know, hey, I don't know if you guys have cameras or not, because I know I have cameras on my property, but I had to enter your property to get rid of a snake that I seen your dogs focused on, and it turned out to be a huge rattler, so I hope you guys don't mind, you know. And we've never communicated very much. They've never been mean, but they've never been friendly. We just kind of wave and keep it moving, both of us, right? They mind their business, I mind mine, right? So the next time I see my neighbor, he was super thankful. They told us, thank you very much, I appreciate you hopping the fence to take care of the rattler. They were kind of surprised that I was able to do that. They was like, Augie's an aggressive dog. I was like, not to be rude, but Auggie is kind of, I won't say he's all bark because he did come at me, but he's not going to hurt me if I hop your fence again. Like, I can tell, you know, and I can tell my neighbor didn't like me saying that, but it's the truth. Augie's not going to kill anything. He will bark. He's a good alert system, but he's not like the XL American bullies I breed, because I guarantee you, same scenario, even though you're protecting my dog, it's going to try to kill you. That's just how they're designed. If you enter their property, their teeth enter your flesh. That's how it works, right? So the funniest part of this is about 2 days ago, I was back out at the BGK Ranch, and when I was out there, I decided to take a couple of the dogs for a walk, and who comes flying up to the fence line acting like he wants to eat me and devour me alive? Auggie. He's back at it again. He keeps that same energy when you're on the other side of the fence. I'll kill you. Nah, I don't believe you, Auggie, man. I'm glad I was able to help you out. All right. As much as I love the BGK Ranch, that's the one thing I do like about the BGK Villa is the swimming pool, and there's no snakes. I don't have to worry about any snakes ever being around at the BGK Villa. It's just a Pitbull's paradise. Andre BGK, another story time for y'all, and I'm out. You know the BGK motto already. Big Gemini Kennels, quality matters. I'd like to give a big shout out to Kyle Holland, owner of Holland Customs. He made us this custom BGK sign out of sheet metal. Made it by hand, took him a few weeks. He did an amazing job. It has LEDs on the inside, lights up, hangs on the wall. Man, it's amazing. If you guys want one, or if you're interested in one for your business, it doesn't need to be dogs, any kind of business, you can contact him at 337-377-5667. All right, it's Kyle Holland of Holland Customs. On the back of my sign, he wrote, "To BGK, thank you for everything you do. Much love from Holland Customs." Thank you, homie. We appreciate. He can do any kind of sign, custom art. If you have a business, even if you don't have a business, if you just have a custom sign that you want made of premium quality, this guy can do it for amazing prices. Hit him up.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Largest Pitbulls. Our Instagram is at Largest Pitbulls. Yes, I know I breed XL American Bullies. That is my IG name for a reason. And also follow us on TikTok at Big Gemini Kennels. Check out our website, which is in the description below, BigGeminiKennels.com. We have a book that we're releasing called XL American Bully Legends that will be out very shortly. And that's for those that didn't get to see the video. Or if you've seen the video and you want to see a more in-depth explanation, if you want to learn more about the XL American Bully Legends that this breed has been founded around, I actually have something for you. Make sure you check out that book. Make sure you check out the pinned comment below if you would like to purchase the XL American Bully Legends book. I will leave a link there. It'll be there for you to check out, and everything else will be in the description.
If you'd like to know more about these dogs, please check out my ebook, BGK's Dog Care Secrets and Breeding Tips. It's available on Amazon.com and has got great reviews. You can check that out yourself. The link will be in the description. And you can also purchase it on my website, BigGeminiKennels.com. That's BIGGEMINI, Kennels.com. You can purchase it right there. I'm working on part 2 right now since I got such a great response to my first book. If you're a pet owner and you're looking for tips to help it grow and reach its maximum potential, and what exercises and dog food and supplements to use, this book is for you. If you're a breeder that's established and you're looking to learn more about marketing and the different tips and tricks we use when delivering litters and marketing our pups and making sure they reach their fullest potential, this book is for you. If you're a breeder that's just starting out or you're looking to become a breeder, this will give you all the insight you need on picking your foundation stock all the way up to how to breed and the type of breedings to use and what's most effective. This book is for you. Remember, our motto is always quality matters. I'm out.